what came about in your daily experience. They help you think about the idea of persuasion.
There was a eureka experience I had, which sent me down the track of finding evidence for the concept, the effectiveness of the concept of persuasion, both in the scientific literature and in the evidence of the real world. And what persuasion is, for people who don't know the term, it's the ability to move people in your direction with an argument or an offer that you have, right, before you present the argument or the offer. By what you put in their mind, right, ahead of experiencing your presentation. I'll give you an example. A study was done with an online furniture store, right? And they specialized in sofas. So for 1 week, everyone who went to their website was sent to a landing page that in the background had fluffy, soft clouds. The other half were sent to a landing page that had small coins, pennies, right? Right. But all the verbiage was the same. It was just what was in the background wallpaper. Those people who saw soft clouds in the background prioritized comfortable furniture and were more likely to purchase comfortable sofas. Those who saw pennies prioritized price and were more likely to buy inexpensive furniture. The concept that was put in their mind first directed where they thought they should be looking inside the message that they subsequently got. So they were persuaded either in a direction of comfort or cost. One day there was a knock on my door. It was a Saturday, and there was a man asking me to donate to a good cause. It was after-school programs for the children in my school district, right, who didn't have a place to go afterwards. Their parents were working, and they would just go home and they would just turn on the TV. But I hadn't received any information from my school district that there was this program going on for after-school programs. I didn't hear anything about it. None of my neighbors had told me about it. And this guy didn't show me any badge indicating that he was from my school district. But I gave him twice as much money as I normally do to a solicitor for a good cause who comes to my door. And I remember closing the door and leaning against it and saying, "What just happened here, Cialdini? What just happened?"
And that's after you wrote the book, right? Like you wrote the book.
No, this is before I wrote the book.
No. But you wrote the influence book though, like
right after influence.
Yeah.
He didn't use any of my influence principles, and he got me to. What did he do? Well, I'll tell you what he did. He brought his probably 4-year-old or 5-year-old daughter with him.
Yeah.
Who was hiding behind his leg. And of course, my attention went to a young child. Well, then when he gave me the option of helping young children, I had already been primed to focus on the benefits to young children. That's where I was focused, on that cute little girl. And I thought, okay, he didn't use any of my principles. There must be another route to persuasion besides just what you put into a message. What do you put into the moment before your message to send them to the factor inside your presentation? That is the most powerful.
It reminds me of this. Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy. It reminds me when I had my first kid. We were living in San Francisco, and we were actually kicked out of our apartment building. And I had to find a place for us to live. when we had our first kid. He was like a week old. So after a few showings, we could not find a place. Every time we would submit an application, we would be rejected. Then this last one, we said, all right, we're going to bring the baby to the showing. So I brought my 2-week-old baby in the car seat and talked to the realtor and then submit our application saying, we need a home. He needs a home. We need a home. We got kicked out.
Wow.
And that was when we got the yes. We got
Children
accepted.
need homes, right?
I was using pre-suasion before I even know it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the principles of influence can be what I say is you bring
can put
the
it
two
before
books together.
as well.
So, for example, Norwegian Cruise Lines had a big sale one year where all of their previous customers were sent an email telling them about a big sale during the holiday season of that year, the Christmas, New Year's holiday. But there was a limited time. They only had a day and a few hours to sign up for it. And when you opened the email, you saw a digital clock ticking down. It showed the great deal. It was a big bargain, but it had this scarcity component to it. Half of the emails went out just like that, as I said, and the other half had 2 clicking down clock emojis in the subject line. They primed them for scarcity before they hit scarcity.
My gosh.
They got 15% more cruisers signups.
Yeah, it's a multiplier.
I don't know if
effect.
you know how cruises go. 15% is worth a lot of money because of all the profit centers they have on board.
Right. Yeah, there's a tremendous lifetime value.
So the question is, what do you do first? Even though you've got a great product, service, presentation, offer to make, what do you do first to incline people to pay attention to the best features of what you have to offer?
But is it always instant? Is it from a time perspective when you think about persuasion? Is it something that happens immediately before, or could it happen in a longer term before you actually do the ask?
The further away you get from the moment of presentation, the less it's going to work, because other things they've now focused their attention somewhere else. Something else is at top of consciousness. Then the image or the word or the connotation that you provided.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because as I'm thinking about the world of brand, right, which is to create the story and to create the association, so that when you go in for the ask or when there's the product on the table, hopefully what you've done in the past evokes the memory of what you've seen in the past to make you want to pick, and choose something.
Yes.
So it definitely is not instant. It's over a longer time frame. However, brands that do really well have these two things, which is the mental availability of the person at that moment to actually think about it. And then there's the physical availability that is actually available there for you to go pick it.
Right. And if you have in your brand an association to that concept, durability or strength or scientific evidence or whatever is the concept that you've got in your brand, and you've established that association over and over and over the way a brand is supposed to, now it comes to mind.
Yes.
As soon as you see the brand designation.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's how you get persuasion from a long period of it stamping in the association between the brand and the concept that brand stands for.